It's not everyone's cup of tea to consume an entire podcast. That's why, welcome to the Ranveer Show's highlights channel, TRS Clips. Subscribe and hit that bell icon. After I graduated from school, I entered a dark phase of my life in college. Didn't enjoy where I was. Became angry. Got into alcohol. Got into marijuana. Just became a very tight-knit person in the head. I was angsty. But in that phase, what also started happening to me was that I suddenly started getting a lot of dreams about God, my own versions of God. In my childhood, I chanted the Hanuman Chalisa a lot. So that's probably the image of God that my subconscious mind associates with God. I started getting Hanumanji in my dreams. I started getting Shiv Bhagwan in my dreams. I started getting Bapuji in my dreams again. And he had passed away by this point. He had left that body that he was occupying at that point, but he had not passed away. He was still in this planet, probably. I still believe he's still in this planet. I remember this one time specifically where I was angsty, but I was out to prove that I wanted to do something with my life. That's also why I started powerlifting in life. That's why I started going to the gym that regularly. So this big fitness company had come to my college for the first time. And my college wasn't one of those colleges which encouraged internships. Very random rule, but that's how it was. So out of the 110, 120 kids that had applied for that internship, I was one of 3 kids that got selected. And my CGPA, my aggregate was really low. So it was kind of a little bright spot in the middle of a lot of darkness during my college years. Also keep in mind, I was really buff. I was really well built. So a lot of the college professors assumed that because I was well built, I was also probably a doofus. I was dumb. I don't know what the correlation is, but that's how a lot of people assume. They also assume that if you're marginally well dressed and if you're marginally well built, you're probably more inclined towards material pleasures like attracting girls and showing off. But I really wasn't. I was in engineering college to learn. At least that's why I joined engineering college. But by the third year, I was angsty, full of rage. I was looking forward to that bright spot, which happened to be that fitness internship. I went to my college placement professor to lock the internship because this internship offer had come through the college. So that's just your standard procedure. I went to him and he had a reputation of being an angry dude. He was one of those guys who kind of removed all his life's frustrations on students. So I went into his room. I remember I was wearing this blue polo t-shirt, which was obviously tight on the sleeves. I had massive arms back then. And I said, "Sir, I've got this internship. What do I do next? How do I take it forward?" He stopped what he was doing. He looked at me and he said, You don't look like you study. What's your aggregate?" And there was lots of these other nerdy kids around him who had come for their own business, their own job applications or whatever. That's the thing about engineering college. There's a lot of status games within students. If a teacher's about to attack a particular student using a status game, saying, "Oh, you're too dumb for this college, your marks are bad," a lot of the other students kind of pile up on that student. They also start attacking the student in order to make themselves feel more secure. So the moment he asked me, you don't look like you studied. You don't look like you're intelligent. Tell me your aggregate." Those other students started grinning at each other. They started giggling, looking at him, waiting for him to pounce on me. And in my head, I'm full of rage. I'm just like, yeah, I've gone through this a lot in this engineering college. So you're going to insult me right now. And then he said, "तू जाके जिम कर. Job mat kar. Job वैसे भी मिलेगा नहीं life में." Which translates to, please go back to the gym. That's where you belong. You don't belong in the professional world. In front of all these other students who started giggling, laughing, added to the insult, my brain and ears just switched off by that point. But in my head, I said, "I'll show you one day. Just so you know, in the coming year, we're going to the same engineering college, but this time to recruit students." Just saying. Sorry, that was a casual flex, but just want to give you hit-taking students some perspective in life. If someone calls you a failure, hold up. That's not the definition of your head. That's not the definition of your life. Anyway, coming back to that moment. That time there was no The Ranveer Show solo podcast, right? So I didn't have a reference point. This was that one bright moment in my college life where I felt like, yeah, I finally got something going for me. 3 out of 120 students being selected is not a fucking joke. And I'm one of those 3. I felt valuable again in college because most of my time in college had spent being insulted by teachers, and it had really dented my self-confidence. It had dented my sense of optimism. It had dented my faith in God also. God was probably trying to reinvigorate that faith by visiting me in my dreams through different images of Hanumanji or Shivji or Bapuji. This particular day, I just felt numbed out, man. I remember going in the train with my best friend, Chintan Butch, at that point of time, and I told him that, yo, I don't know why I took up engineering college. It's the beginning of our 4th year, and I've just had a terrible time. He just told me, bro, hang in there, man. Just put up with it for like another year.